How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Nomad Sports. I'm your host, Tony Torres, and welcome back. A special one today. Wimbledon just kicked off. The Super Bowl for tennis to give people who don't play tennis a better idea of how big of a deal Wimbledon is. It's the Super Bowl of tennis. If there's one tournament you want to win as a tennis player, it's Wimbledon. It's the most historical, it's the oldest major in the game, possibly in all sports. Wimbledon. The first Wimbledon was in 1877. That was his very first tournament. It was men's singles only, 22 players. The winner was Spencer Gore. Now, today, the first round just completed. It's June 1st, currently 9:22 p.m. Tomorrow morning, the second round starts over there in England, and we're gonna make some predictions. A lot of upsets already. That's why you love Wimbledon. That's why you love watching these first and second rounds of majors because big upsets could be brewing, and you already got it on the women's side. Coco Gauff, she just won the French Open a month ago. Just won a major a month ago, out the first round. She said in an interview it was just too much for her mentally, especially changing from clay to grass and only playing on grass for 3 weeks. She felt like she wasn't prepared, and you got to be if you're gonna win the greatest tournament in tennis history, Wimbledon. Now, if you want to make more comparisons, you could say that the U.S. Open, the Australian Open, and the French Open are similar to your AFC and NFC championships or your Eastern Conference and Western Conference finals. If you are the Eastern Conference champion or the AFC champion, it's obviously a big accomplishment, but it's not the Super Bowl. It's not the championship. And that's what Wimbledon is as a major. You can win 5 U.S. Opens, 2 Australian Opens, 6 U.S. Opens, but if you don't win Wimbledon as a tennis player, you're still going to feel like you left a little bit out there. That's how important Wimbledon is for tennis, and that's how important it is in my opinion, and I'm sure for a lot of tennis fans. It's the oldest major in tennis history, 1877. It's a Super Bowl of tennis. Now, a lot of upsets already. Coco Gauff is out. Jessica Pegula, yes, that might, if that sounds familiar, the daughter of Terry Pegula, the Buffalo Bills owner, ranked number, I believe, 4 or 5 in the world right now, out in the first round. Andy Roddick, he had Jessica Pegula in the quarterfinals, semifinals. That was his prediction. Andy Roddick, former world number one, American player. If you're the world number one, that's quite an accomplishment. I'm sure that's something you'd be proud to say. Even if you want no majors, being the world number one, it's certainly gonna feel like an accomplishment. I would assume. Medvedev, U.S. Open winner on the men's side, out first round. Zverev, uh, multi major runner up, out in the first round, and we're gonna try to make some more predictions. And the reason you love Wimbledon as a fan and as a player is because of the surface, obviously, and how it plays. It's the fastest surface, guys. It's the fastest surface. I don't know if it's the most difficult to play, but your reaction needs to be like that. Roger Federer, that's why he's considered one of the GOATs because of how many times he won Wimbledon. If you can imagine playing on a hard court, you can anticipate the bounce. You see where it's bouncing on the concrete. You can anticipate where you're going to meet that ball at. On clay, it's still a little firm. You can anticipate where this ball's landing. On clay, it's a little bit of a slower surface. It's mixed in with dirt. It's going to slow the ball down. Grass, Wimbledon, grass. That ball is not going to bounce where you anticipate it. It's bouncing off grass. I think it's going to come off lower and it's going to react differently. It's going to react a little faster. That's why grass is the hardest surface. It's bing, 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 bap, pam, fast, like ping pong, just fast, bouncing off that grass, unpredictable. Lower bounces, you can't predict it the same as concrete, the same as clay. That's why it's the most difficult. That's why it's it is the most important major in tennis, and that's why it adds to its allure. Not only is it the oldest, having the first tournament in 1877, but the grass just makes it that much harder predicting where that ball is going to land, having a having it react so much faster, and having to have those perfect strokes, ground strokes. What ground strokes are your forehands and your backhands. In golf you got things like chips, but your pitching wedge and your long irons. That's kind of like your ground strokes. Um, to make things in simple terms, it's those things that you got to have down in order to have a chance to make par, to get a birdie. You got to have those pitching wedges and those long irons, mid irons down. Now let's get to some predictions on Wimbledon. Hopefully, I can make some good ones, and we'll check back in on it. But on the men's side, we got round two starting. First one at 3 a.m. tomorrow, July 2nd. Don't forget, today's July 1st, 9:26 p.m. here in Los Angeles right now. First game at 3 in the morning tomorrow. Adrian Manarino and Royer, two Frenchies. I got to go with Manarino. Jari and Lerner Tien. I'm going to go with the American Lerner Tien, up and comer. He's like 20 years old, and he made a run at, I believe, Indian Wells. Kachanov, Machizuki. I'm going to take Kachanov, the Russian, on that one. He's probably, minus money on the money line. You probably got to, use some juice. But yeah, Fonseca and Brooksby. That looks like a good one. Fonseca's another up and comer, and Brooksby is an American with a very unorthodox style. Um, I think Fonseca's gonna take it, but I'm not gonna bet on that. I'm gonna take the over on Fonseca and Brooksby. I will take the over on that. I'm assuming it's gonna go 4 or 5 sets. Nakashima and Boo. I'm gonna take the American Nakashima. I think he's also up and comer, winning plenty of matches. Andre Rublev, Lloyd Harris. I'm gonna take Rublev. There's a lot of upsets already, and Lloyd Harris, he has beaten Stan Wawrinka. You know what? Maybe I'll take the over on that one. Sheesh. Now that you think, and unders also hit a lot, man. Especially when a player like Rublev, the under could very much hit. Cam Nori Tiafo. I'm gonna take the over on that one. I would assume Tiafoe's gonna win. Let's see, Lecheka Bellucci, no dog in the fight. Ajay Alasim and Jay Struff. Ajay Alasim, I'll take him in you know, he hasn't won any majors, but he has plenty of singles titles. I'll take Ajay Alasim. Alcaraz, Fognini, the 40-year-old, nearly 40, almost took him. He took him to 5 sets. I think he's gonna handle the second round Alcaraz a lot faster. I'm gonna take the under in Alcaraz. Christian Garin, Rinder Kanech. I'm gonna take Rinder Kanech, the Frenchman. I'm a Southern American fan. Christian Garin's from Chile, but I think Rinder Kanech is gonna take it. Jordan Thompson and Bonzi. Bonzi just upset Daniil Medvedev. I'm gonna go with Jordan Thompson on that one. Let's see, none. Uh, Van de Zandschulp and Davidovich Fakina. Man, I'll take the over on that one. Uh, I guess Fakina. You know what? I'll just take the over on that one. It's a pick 'em for me. And lastly, Taylor Fritz and Diallo. Taylor Fritz survived a five-setter in the first round. He just won a grass court title, I believe, in Halle. So I don't see why he can't make a run at Wimbledon. He's currently 4 or 5 in the world ranked. He's the fifth seed at Wimbledon. So I'll take Fritz, and I think he's not going to go 5 sets this time. I'll take the under. More second rounders, Dimitrov and Mute. Ooh, Mute, the older Frenchman, but Dimitrov's not a spring chicken anymore either. I'll say Dimitrov. I'm not sure about the over. I'll leave it at that. Yannick Sinner, world number one, with plenty of controversy around him. As you guys may know, the world number one Yannick Sinner tested positive for a steroid, and the substance was so minuscule that that's part of the reason why the ATP decided not to suspend him for an extended period of time. He only got three months for testing positive for a banned substance because of how small of a trace of the steroid they found. And also he seemed to have he had an alibi that followed it up pretty well. Excuse me, to drink some of my tea. He said that his physio cut his finger. He bought some cream in Italy. Creams, over the counter creams can have steroids in them, unlike here in America. So his trainer bought the cream for his own hand, put it on his cut. he forgot that he applied it to himself, gave Sinner a massage. That's what he says, working on him. He's his physio. And that's how Sinner ended up testing positive because his trainer treated his own hand for a cut, and then he treated Sinner with a massage after he treated himself with that steroid cream, or not a steroid cream. It's just a cream to alleviate cuts. And in Italy, some creams can have steroids. It's perfectly legal over there. So anyway, that's Sinner's backstory. He's still number one. I'm a fan of his. He has a shotgun backhand. I'm gonna take him over Vukic. Monfils and Fucsovics. Monfils just had a marathon in round one against Humbert. Fucsovics, I remember him beating Wawrinka in the Australian Open on hard court. Man, you know what? I'll take Fucsovics. If Monfils wins, I won't be surprised. He is older though. Ben Shelton, I'll take him. University of Florida graduate. He went straight from Division 1 college tennis to the pros. That's that is an option if you want to go pro. You can, if you kick ass in college, you could transfer over to the ATP tour as opposed to climbing up through challenger tours and all that good stuff. Tommy Paul, 13 seed. I'm gonna have him taking round number 2 as well. This guy's his conditioning is unbelievable. American Tommy Paul. I'm going to take him. Jack Draper, Martin Cilic, round 2. Draper, runner up for multiple majors. I believe he won Indian Wells here in California, out there in Palm Desert. And Martin Cilic, U.S. Open champion. I gotta go with Draper though. The guy's he's playing too big right now, and obviously Cilic, he's not the same player as he was when he won the U.S. Open. So I'm taking Jack Draper. Probably the under too. I don't know how many sets Cilic can take. Sonego and Basil Ashvili. I'm gonna go with. I'll go with Basil Ashvili. I'll get Sonego being taking the upset. Marcos Giron, UCLA, tennis player in round 2, up against the 15 seed Mensik. I'm gonna go with Giron. Hopefully he can come through. 21 seed Machach taking on Holmgren. I believe he's Swedish. I'm gonna take Machach. I remember him beating Djokovic at Indian Wells not so long ago. Demon War, I'm taking him round 2. And Dan Evans, Novak Djokovic. You got to take Djokovic. And you know what? My heart's telling me to take the under, but I'm gonna take the over. You know what? I'm gonna take the under. I doubt Dan Evans is gonna take a lot of games on Djokovic. Keshmanovic and Jong, no dog in that fight. And that's everything for round 2, guys. Round 3 does not start until Friday, 4th of July. So that's all the men's. Let's go to women's. See if we got anything here. Leylah Fernandez, Sigmund. I'm gonna take the German Sigmund. Take the upset. Madison Keys. I'm gonna take her. American. Just won the Australian Open. She has one of my favorite rackets, the Onyx E Zone. Let's see, Vekic, Buska, Anisimova, American against Mexican Zarazua. I'm gonna take Anisimova. If the Mexican wins, then even better because I'm Mexican as well. Sabalenka, number 1. C taking on Boskova. You gotta go with Sabalenka. She's not known to get upset. Elise Mertens versus Ann Lee, American. I'm gonna take Lee, the American, even though Mertens is a 24 seed. Paulini, the Italian woman, number 4 seed. Number 2, she's taking on Russian Rakimova. I'm gonna take Paulini. Naomi Osaka is in round 2 as well. I'm gonna take her losing. She just hasn't made any runs. She's a multiple major winner, but she's been on the down and down from what I can remember. And lastly, I'm gonna go over Raducanu and Drazova. Emma Raducanu has also been sliding, but she is playing on home turf, so you know what? She's probably is the favorite, and you can see some value on taking Vondrova, but I'm gonna take Raducanu playing on her home turf. So that's all the matches for round 2, guys, so far in Wimbledon. This is the Super Bowl of tennis, guys. That's why I love Wimbledon. It's the oldest tournament, and it's it's the biggest tournament of them all. If you're gonna win a tournament, you want to win Wimbledon. Like I said, the U.S. Open, the Australian Open, and the French Open. Those are gonna be your conference championships. You know, your AFC champions, your Eastern Conference champions. But Wimbledon is the Super Bowl of tennis. This is the biggest tournament of them all, the most difficult. That's why I love it. The most history. Yeah, you know, tennis. It did start off as an elitist sport, but that's what I love about time, or one of the things that I love about time is that nothing stays the same forever, and that's when people things grow and people just they join in playing their favorite sport because of how fun it is, and that's it. That's why I love tennis and golf, even though it might seem like snotty sports. It's just fun to go out there, have a good time, and kick ass, and just not be like one of those snotty idiots. So that's gonna do it here, guys, from the Nomad Gnome. I'm Tony Torres. Thank you guys for tuning in. Going over Wimbledon. It's a very historical tournament. It's the most historical. That's why I'm covering it. That's why it's on episode number 2 here at Nomad Sports. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on the next round.